It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to do another round of tournament arc. What am I talking about? Little teaser for the poll to come in. This is gonna happen. So yesterday I made a video, right? I made a video asking you guys, what should we do? What the fuck should I do? And basically the theme of this video is January, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 is coming out. I'm very excited for it, and I want to be on top of my game. I understand it's an Unga Bunga battle shonen, but there's a lot of different foreshadowings and things that I was caught off guard in Season 1 that showed up in Season 2, and I want to be thorough, and it's also really fun. And on top of that, Season 1 reactions doesn't exist on this channel. So I talked about, I think that there is a way that we can basically juggle this different stuff. Death Note Monogatari. This is a diagram showing you the different slots every day. 5 videos of edited content to go out each stream. 3 of them being seasonal maybe. 1 of them could be a community. Obviously the 5th one is for the 2nd channel. And I talk about fixing the slots up so that JJK can happen. So let's read some of the comments and I'll kind of give you like my overall thoughts about, you know, what's happening, okay? So first of all, it's good signs that we got 401 likes here. Right? I understand that a lot of those are going to be pity likes and not everyone's going to be watching every reaction, but the fact that this was able to even get 401 likes within the first day, that's a good sign. I think we can actually work off of it. Truthfully, want Monogatari more than JJK, but here's the thing. I understand, but like you are such an insignificant minority in the grand scheme of things. And I'm not trying to say this to bully you or try to downplay your existence, but this is how reality works. Monogatari is not the most sought out after show right now. In fact, let's do a little bit of comparison. If I do, oh, it doesn't filter like that, huh? I mean, let's compare Nisa Monogatari viewership, right? How is it? Honestly, it's not bad, straight up. The fact that the most recent Shinobu Donut episode can get 4.6k with 425 people coming out to like it. Yeah, there's some fluctuations like, you know, 3.3k here though. But you can see that there is some sort of stability around 400 people that's actually engaging in the viewership. It's pretty fucking good. Honestly, thinking about it now again, after a month and a bit has passed, this is pretty good viewership. You may think that hovering around 4,000, 5,000 isn't good. But again, 10%. How many times do I bring you guys, right, about this idea of 10%, right? 10% as in, look at the subscriber count and look at the average viewership for a video. And the 10% figure is something that I bring up because if you look at, again, time after time, who do we use to compare? We use the greats like your boy Roshi and Nicholas Light. If you look at their channel with 1 million subs, how often do they hit 10% viewership? Not very often. This is like 17k, that's like 1 to 2%, bro. 102,000 right here, boom, that's a 10%. And if you look at their videos, how often do they hit it? Here, every once in a while, but you notice that it's not always, right? And the fact that I can hit 10%, which is my equivalent, 5,000 is my equivalent of 100k, and you're gonna say, well, they have more subs than you. I would say, yeah, I understand, but there's gonna be dead subs, a percent that I think is consistent for any other channel. So if I were to be in a position with 1 million subscribers, the theory is if I can hit 10% right now, then like in 10% figure right now is genuinely good enough to go off of by, right? Nicholas Light, that's another one. What's he up to recently? What's Nicholas Light doing? 10% right here, right? How often does he hit 10%? Pretty decently well, actually. He definitely does less of, you know, horizontal scaling content, as in so many different variety, but tries to focus on one popular topic, right, and over again. He does really well for himself like that. So the fact that like our Monogatari reactions can hit our equivalent of 100k like that, that's honestly more than I could ever ask for. So again, I thank you Monogatari fans, and I have no intentions of dropping it, by the way. I'm gonna keep going. It's just that it's not priority right now. Let's look at Death Note. What's the Death Note viewership like? Yeah. So it's going to be higher than 10%. Now we're kind of bordering around 10 to 20%, right? Some of the older videos, obviously it's going to taper down as we go, but consistent 5-digit viewership in the first couple episodes, very hype streak, and obviously the interest will die down. I wonder what the new baseline will be, but there is, like, Death Note is doing definitely the better than Monogatari, but Monogatari is still doing good enough. I need you to understand that, right? So we're honestly chilling. What will JJK be like though, right? So, but before we go to that, like I'm trying to answer, you want Monogatari more than JJK. I understand there's a core audience for it, and maybe in my channel, Monogatari would actually do better than JJK. I just don't know yet, right? Until we actually put our content out there, we just won't know. But the thing about Monogatari is there is no rush. There is no necessity for me to rush out Monogatari content. That is pointless, right? This is a timeless classic that's not having a new season soon for me to be caught up to catch up on trends, but Jujutsu Kaisen is, right? So that's why I'm prioritizing the seasonal content that is time sensitive over community series that honestly might have more interest in JJK, but shout outs to, Monogatari. I prefer Monogatari content. There's a lack of content regarding Monogatari, so having your don't worry, it's gonna come out. I'm not dropping it. Monogatari fan base is starting for quality reaction content. I think it'd be greatly appreciated for you to continue with that series going forward, even if you have to slow down the amount of Monogatari uploads down to do so. Yeah, and that's what's gonna happen, right? That's exactly what's gonna happen. Care more about Monogatari, but here's the thing again. Remember in the comment section, how many times did we, make fun of the silence? The loud majority, the vocal minority, the loud minority. Sorry. Anytime we did these polls, do you guys remember? The comments would basically be people crying. But all the comments, listing that anime would be losing. So do you think that Monogatari here is the same thing and there's a lot of JJK lurkers? I don't know. More people, glazing and glazing. Personally, I care more about Monogatari. Sure. It's coming. JJK season 1 and season 2, please. Sure. Of course, I like to see JJK reactions even if it's not blind. That's great. The problem with reacting to JJK again is, as you said, it's a rewatch, so views will automatically be less and you don't have a core battle shonen audience. And this is the faults that I mentioned in the video, right? But you can do opening reaction after 3 episodes reaction to figure out what the views will be getting. And that's going to be the interesting point, right? When we test the waters to launch with an opening and ending reaction and the first couple episodes, I remember the first couple episodes of JJK is kind of boring, right? The first episode, I think, doesn't really do much. I think the second episode is when Sukuna versus Gojo happens. So I'll probably package the first 2 episodes back to back, as in like in one video. I think that's a better idea than launching with like the first episode, which is kind of mid. We could honestly do 3 episodes in one. I think that the 3rd episode might actually even encompass the conclusion of the Gojo versus Sukuna fight, but we'll all see about that. It can maybe bring in more battle shonen audience, which might help increase the audience for that type of content, which is all helpful to the channel. And that's what we've been doing, right? I've been checking out, like Gachakura. I even tried out Togenanki, right? I'm trying to do more battle shonen content in this channel, in hopes that like that slowly trickles in. And that audience honestly has trickled in. It's just that, man, when you have the favorability of the algorithm, like guarantee you, when winter hits, big channels, they're gonna fucking dominate. Like big channels will pop the fuck off, getting multiple 6-figure views on each JJK. I'll be lucky if I get 10%. But honestly, again, it's pointless trying to compare like those big dogs who have that audience versus me, who has such a scattered, random fucking niche audience. The fact that I can even attempt to hit 10%, that's all I'm asking for. That's all I need to work off of, and we'll slowly get there. If you get decent view and JJK reactions and new season, that's fine. Also, give a boost on views and reaction to the new season. You can also react to JJK instead of watching Nekomonogatari. No, we're doing Nekomonogatari right now. My goal right now is to just kind of finish up Death Note so that we can expedite JJK. But honestly, there's so many like maybe I'll try to juggle 3 at once, which is kind of crazy. I even have like a plan of maybe doing One Punch Man season 1 while One Punch Man topic is really hot right now, but it's like I'm trying to do too much at once right now. JJK reaction really serve as a rewatch, so I'm all for it. Do another community series polls, and that's what we're gonna do. And I think the poll will be very interesting. I think you should just react to the openings and the first 2 episodes. Yep, that's the game plan again, right? That's the fucking game plan. You should do a poll. Sure. JJK rewatch would be great. It's actually, positive that there's so many people that's actually saying they care about JJK, man. Let's see. Never saw JJK, but you watching would be nice. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just a monkey, but here's my take. You have a large enough audience where there's not enough flex watches for shonen to be successful on your channel. Flex watch is what I call to people like me who watch multiple anime genre and demographic. You and Joe probably have the largest audience of people who watch isekai. Basically, we are the fucking seasonal slop merchants. I think it's clear from the success of Soul 11 down Gachakura for. I think that there is actually enough. And if we look at the performance of, like this too, JJK topic, even the trailer stuff, right? It's not bad. Again, right? 400 likes for the JJK, and even not the trailer reaction, right? And the trailer reaction, it's gonna be tourists? Not really. Because like, it got 2.8K. The viewership is great for a simple trailer like that. And the thing that's really interesting again is that obviously because we're shadow banned, we're going to be limited to just our community. That's the biggest fucking bane of my existence, right? That pretty much our entire career will be in shadow ban. That means you're working with your immediate community. For 2 to 3 weeks in the beginning of a new season, the shadow ban kind of gets lifted and an external community realizes that my channel actually exists. But 99% of the times, we're locked into our immediate community, so I have to work what we got. But with what we got right now, looking at this distribution, is actually giving a fuck about a trailer reaction like this. I think there are positive signals that JJK is desired in my channel. Safest move will be doing a poll, option being stated yes and no. No, a poll doesn't really mean much at the end of the day. It's good signals, but what really matters is actually put the video out. Even a video like this to gather engagement likes, I think that does help a lot. With how in-depth you go into reactions, it'd be definitely beneficial to rewatch the series, and there's a lot of points to be missed. Exactly, right? Let's see. Third shonen channel, yes, but that's going to be for long-running completed channels, and I don't know if that's ever going to actually happen at this rate. Thirsting for quality JJK reactions, nice. I don't care about JJK, but Kaka TV is the only reaction I watch because you are my monkey king and add more value and enjoyment. Jesus Christ, glaze away, bro. Anything else? I'd also love Frieren with the current style. And you know what? Here it is, right? That's why I'm kind of doing this. Oh, this is an interesting comment too. I might be talking out of my ass here, but it's possible that when you think my audience isn't interested in Battle Shonen, therefore I won't watch any Battle Shonen, creates a feedback look, so it just looks further cultivates an audience that isn't interested in Battle Shonen. And you're right. And that's intentional. Like, playing to your losses is terrible on YouTube, right? You need to play to your strength. Like, the logic here is the more that you neglect your weaknesses, of course, you're not going to have that, you know, weakness get better. But when you basically commit to a weakness on YouTube, as in keep making videos about a topic your audience doesn't give a fuck about, you don't grow like that. In fact, your growth gets limited. In fact, you would fucking die. In the game of YouTube algorithm, it's a totally different game where you have to play off of your strength. You need to understand what the fuck is your audience and play off of that. And sometimes here and there, slowly try to introduce something else that is workable, right? I'm not asking for, again, like crazy viewership, but if something's doing so bad, you have to drop it and you can test stuff out. And even if it's not doing really amazing, you can still kind of keep it around, right? That's the whole fucking game plan. So I understand this logic, but like in terms of YouTube strategy, it's a terrible idea to try to play to your weaknesses. Maybe this is an opportunity to start investing more into reaching an audience so that eventually you might think my audience is interested in Battle Shonen. That I mean, what do you think we've been doing with Gachakuda? Like, you act as if Battle Shonen doesn't exist in my channel. I do attempt to put my bid in Battle Shonen every season, and sometimes it does do kind of well. Even if it performs badly, it's possible that could still help cultivate the audience and just growing pains. But the growing pains, again, for people that doesn't make YouTube content, don't know how to grow a channel, you might think this is logical, but it's not. Like, trying to focus on a weak part and try to grow that, cultivate that audience, it's just counterintuitive, because that means that, again, you're making videos and you're neglecting your majority audience, and no one's even watching those videos and the performance is doing bad. That sends even worse signals to the algorithm, and every new video you make on that topic, the algorithm's gonna ask, why the fuck would I bother giving you visibility on this video when we know that your audience doesn't give a fuck about it? The idea that you can keep playing to your weakness to grow, that's not how shit works, but like, I understand where you're coming from. And that's pretty much it. I have no promises, but we're just kind of testing the waters right now. I'm trying to sample with my audience, right? And I'm trying to understand, what do you actually want to watch? So here's my prediction. I think that JJK is a more hot topic in my channel compared to Frieren. Frieren, by the way, I had to drop that shit 3 separate times when this shit came out. When this came out, I fucking hated. I was so jealous of so many people getting 6-figure views. They had no fucking subscribers. And while I was just locked in a fucking cage and I had to drop this shit because we couldn't get past 1,000 views, bro. Straight up, that's what's happening. And the reason for why so many other channels does better than mine, and I'm not trying to make excuses, I'm trying to explain the logic. Those other channels don't make as much content as me. They're pretty much still not locked into a specific box in a category like me. Because of the volume of content that I make and how much I fucked up the early game in terms of YouTube content creation, like I constantly compare the second channel and this, right? Focusing on one topic and scaling off of it. I limited myself into a box where the algorithm won't even give me a chance to send my Frieren reactions to a larger audience out there. There's many other channels that don't make as much content as me. The algorithm has not decided that they should be put into this fixated box. Therefore, they get an empty lotto bid and sometimes they just go viral. And it's you can say it's unfair, but that's how the game is, and it's pointless to complain about it. And once you're put into this box, it's really hard to get out of that box. It's a very, very slow fucking burn. That's why a lot of the times people come to my channel, they don't even know my channel fucking existed, and they're like, damn, you have this many videos? So many people straight up don't even know my channel exists. Every week or two when we're out of the shadow band during a new, season, people are like, what the fuck is this content? Like, holy shit, I didn't know you exist. And they start glazing, and I'm like, yeah, welcome to my fucking life. It's entirely just an underdog story, just getting fucking cock and ball tortured by the algorithm, but it is what it is. I think that the poll will be like this. JJK will beat Frieren. By how much? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's going to be close. Maybe it's going to be a big gap. I would think that JJK will have a significant gap. I think that give me something else. And here's a fucking comment like this shit. Like, wait, so have you seen all of Frieren season 1? What are we doing here, bro? Like, what are we fucking doing here, bro? Like I have a fucking it's you don't even know it exists. That's the fucking thing that pisses me off so fucking much. The thing that pisses me off so fucking much is that the content is there, but the content never actually reaches the fucking audience. And it's not your fault. It's just very annoying things where motherfuckers don't even know the playlist of series that exists, and motherfuckers are asking, can you react to this? They're like, it's already fucking there, bro. Anyways, I think that JJK will have more than a 10% margin of Frieren. But I think Gimme Something Else will actually be the #1 choice in this poll for the reason that I've mentioned regarding no battle shonen audience, and these are rewatch reactions, and a lot of people that are Monogatari fans and whatever. There's a lot of people that just don't give a fuck, right? But again, Baki kind of went in losing too, right? Just because, and remember, right? Let's do this. Let's bring this here. Just because this happens, right? And I explained this before too. All of these people, right? Let's say, like, I don't know, it's like this got like 35, this got like 15, and this got like fucking, what is it, 50%, right? Let's just assume something like this happened, right? The majority is obviously 50%. But here's the thing, 50% here of all these people can't even unite on a single series. It's going to be scattered across into many different shows of people who are like 5%, 10%, 5%, I don't know, like 15%, 5%, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I think the math works out here. This is 20, 25. It didn't work out. 5, this is 20, 25. This is 40 right now. So we need to add one more, 10%. Like, all of these different partitions of that majority vote can't pick a single show, but obviously everyone has selected just this or just that. So again, when Give Me Something Else wins, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means there's a lot of people who don't care about the main 2 topics and are scattered everywhere else. And we're trying to basically limit, right? We're trying to basically pull this down, right? We want to make the difference of Give Me Something Else and the main choice as low as possible. And that's kind of what happened with Death Note. Death Note was a very good, successful show because why? More people were all bored on Death Note, and Give Me Something Else, there were not that many people neglected. Monogatari, more people were neglected. But that's kind of my prediction. Gonna put the poll up, and tomorrow we will see. We'll see. We'll make another video. I love doing videos like this because it's easy content for me, obviously. And we get to constantly engage with the community and the audience to see exactly what people want. And we'll see if my prediction came right.